What on earth do whales have to do with the history of Boston? How did the world's largest mammal shape early New England and help Boston to become a center for global trade? This video will explore how the whale illuminated Boston and contributed to its rich history. Whale oil made from whale blubber was highly sought after by Boston merchants in the 17th through 19th centuries. It's important to note, however, that most whale hunting was actually done south of Boston, near Cape Cod. In often dangerous voyages, fishermen would travel out to sea on boats to harpoon the whales. The whales would then be brought to shore for processing in areas like New Bedford and Nantucket, where various whale parts could be manufactured into usable products. Before the 1750s, these processed whale parts were then exclusively shipped to Boston middlemen, who would then serve as the conduit in trade with Britain. Boston merchants benefited greatly within this middleman role, as they cut profits from New Bedford and Nantucket merchants in the whaling industry. However, historian Eric J. Dolan notes, New Bedford and Nantucket merchants still relied heavily on Boston merchants to transport the oil and whalebone, thereby assuming some of the major risks of this international trade, such as shipwreck and capture. Two Boston merchants especially involved in the trade were Thomas Hancock and his nephew, who you might recognize, John. Understanding that whalebone and whale oil would bring them the most profit in trade with London, especially with an increase in demand after the French and Indian War, the Hancocks added whale products to their list of business enterprises. By the spring of 1764, the Hancocks attempted to dominate the whale oil market of Boston, but fell short with fluctuating oil prices and high competition from men like William Rauch. The last straw for the Hancock enterprise came in 1766, when London merchants requested that John Hancock inspect his product before shipping it. To this, he responded, "I will never submit to have a man sent over to inspect my business, to make me the ridicule of the merchants." Soon, he abandoned the whaling enterprise for a decisively more successful career in politics. We now know that whale products were highly sought after by Boston merchants for trade, but what uses did whales have for everyday Boston citizens? Let's put ourselves in the shoes of late 18th century Bostonians. Whale oil, the most lucrative part of the whale, was used for both candles and illumination. So, walking around the streets of Boston, or in the comfort of our own homes, we would have been able to see with the help of street lamps and candles lit using this whale oil. And for better sanitation, we would have used soap made with whale oil. And for cooking, whale oil was also used to make margarine. So what happened to whaling in Boston? While Boston continued to serve as New England's major port for shipping, New Bedford absorbed the whaling business. However, by the mid-19th century, with the discovery of petroleum in Pennsylvania, the demand for whale oil decreased dramatically, hitting port towns like New Bedford hard. Luckily, Boston was not impacted much at all from the decline of the whale trade, as the city had countless other exports on which to rely. And yet, the whaling industry's role in bringing even more economic prosperity to the city of Boston, and Massachusetts in general, must not be discounted.